Hello kids, welcome to today's maths class, and today we'll do introduction to graphs. Cartesian coordinate system. While going through the following discussion, keep an eye on the figure all of while. Let x, ox and y dash oy be two mutually perpendicular lines through any point O. Now choose a convenient until the length of starting from the O as 0. Mark of the number scale on the horizontal line x dash ox, positive to the right O and negative to its left. Also mark of the same scale of the vertical lines y dash oy, positive upward and negative downward of O. So it is a Cartesian plane. ये हो जाएगा O point. This is x axis, x dash. This is y axis, the vertical y and y dash. Clear? So इस side जो होगा x में positive and here negative. Y में if we go upward it's positive and downward it's negative. Clear? Next, definitions. First, coordinate axis. In figure, the horizontal line x dash ox is called the x-axis of x. The vertical line y dash oy is called y-axis or axis of y. Both the line taken together is called coordinates. Axis or the axis of coordinate. So coordinate क्या हो जाएंगे? ये हो जाएगा x-axis coordinate and this is y-axis coordinate. Clear? Next, origin. The point O where the x-axis and y-axis intersect each other is called the origin. So this point O where both the axes intersect each other is called the origin. Next, quick funda. René Descartes was a French mathematician and philosopher who first published the book La Géométrie in 1637, in which he used algebra in the study of geometry. This he did by representing point on the plane of order pairs and real numbers called Cartesian coordinates. Cartesian plane has been named after him. Next, Cartesian plane. The plane of the paper containing both the coordinate axes is called the Cartesian plane. जिसमें दोनों हो coordinate x and y axis, that is called Cartesian plane. Next, plotting of points. Before we proceed to actually plot points, we should learn something vital about quadrants, order pair and coordinates of a point. Next is quadrants. In figure, x dash ox and y dash oy are coordinate axes. Two axes divide plane into four regions called the quadrants. In figure, these quadrants are x oy, x dash oy, x dash oy dash and y dash ox, which are respectively known as first, second, third and fourth quadrant. So four part में divide करता है. This is first quadrant, this is second, this is third and this is fourth quadrant. As is clearly shown in figure, ray OX is taken as positive x-axis and OX dash is negative x-axis. Similarly, OY is taken as positive y-axis and OY dash as negative y-axis. If we talk about OX, this is positive and OX dash, that is negative. OY is positive and OY dash, that is negative. Clear? Next, ordered pair. A pair of two number x and y listed in the specific order is called the ordered pair. पहले x का दिखाएंगे, then y. With x at first place and y at second place, this order cannot be changed. Next, coordinates of a point. Let P be the point in a plane. Draw perpendicular PM and PN from P on x and y axis respectively. The length of directed line segment OM in the units of the scale chosen is called the x coordinator or abscissa of point P. Similarly, the length or directed line segment ON on the same scale is called y coordinate or ordinate of point P. Let OM equals to x and ON equals to y, then the position of point P on the plane with respect to the coordinate axis is represented by the ordinate pair xy, and the order pair xy is called the coordinate of point P. So this is point P. हम देखेंगे x एक्सिस से कितने डिस्टेंस पे है, y एक्सिस से, अकॉर्डिंग टू विच इट विल राइट. फर्स्ट x एक्सिस आएगा एंड देन y एक्सिस. क्लियर? Thus, for the given point, the abscissa means जो x axis पे है and ordinate that is on y axis are the distance of the given point from y axis and x axis respectively. Abscissa हो जाएगा x axis पे and ordinates होगा y axis पे. Clear? In view of the sign convenient of displayed in figure, the four quadrants are characterized by the following sign of abscissa and ordinate. So, if we talk about quadrant first, region X, O, Y, this region, quadrant, first quadrant, sign of abscissa and ordinate. X is greater than 0 and Y is greater than 0. दोनों क्या होंगे? पॉजिटिव होंगे. X का भी and Y का भी, means abscissa and ordinate both will be positive. Positive, positive. This is second quadrant. X dash OY, X dash OY. So here X is negative and Y is positive. So X is less than 0 and Y is greater than 0. X is negative and Y is positive. If we talk about third quadrant, X is negative and Y is negative. So X dash OY dash, X is less than 0 and Y is less than 0. Both are negative, and this is fourth quadrant. Here X is positive and Y is negative. So Y dash OX, X is greater than 0 and Y is less than 0. X is positive and Y is negative. Clear? Remember, the coordinate of the origin are taken as 0, 0. The coordinate of any point x-axis are of the form of x and 0, and the coordinate of any point of y-axis in form of 0, y. Thus, if the abscissa of the point is 0, it would lie somewhere on the y-axis. If the ordinate is 0, it would lie on x-axis. Means, अगर x-axis का 0 है, that means it would lie on y-axis, and y पे 0 है, that means it will lie on x-axis. It follows from the above discussion that by simply looking at the coordinates of point we can tell in which quadrant it would lie. The following examples will make the things more clear. Some more examples are given here. You have to practice it. Next is graph of multiples of different numbers. Example, represent the function y equals to 4x on the graph. So we have to represent y equals to 4x. The given function y equals to 4x for different value of x. We will change the value of x according to that we will get the value of y. If value of x is 0, then value of y equals to हो जाएगा 4 into 0, that is 0. If value of x is 1, then y की value क्या हो जाएगी 4. X की value 2 है, then y's value is 8. So if the value of x is 3, then y की value हो जाएगी 12. 3 and that is 12. So point C. So like this we can plot the different point and draw the graph. Clear? Next, graph of perimeter versus length of the side of a square. As we know, perimeter of square equals to क्या होता है 4 into side or 4s. Example, draw a graph for the function p equals to 4x. So x की value 0 है. What is the value of p? 0. 4 into 0, that is 0. If value of x is 1, that 4 into 1, that is 4. If value of x is 2, 4 into 2, 8. If value of x is 3, 4 into 3, 12. And हम इसको ग्राफ पे ड्रॉ कर लेंगे. This is x axis and this is y axis. नेगेटिव है, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव है. क्लियर? सो 0 0 यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. Then 1 and 4. If value of x is 1, value of y is 4. A point, then value of x is 2, value of y is 8. 2 and 8. This is point B. If the value of x is 3, value of y is 12. So 3 x-axis पे हो जाएगा and it's 12. So point C. So like this we can plot the different points on the graph. Clear? Next, graph of area versus side of a square. As we know, area of square क्या होता है? Side into side or side square. Example लेते हैं, represent the function a area equals to x square, that is side square on the graph. Solution क्या हो जाएगा? The given function a equals to x square, that is our function. For different value of x, the corresponding value of a are tabulated below. If x value 0, a की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? 0 का स्क्वायर 0, 1 है तो 1 हो जाएगी, 2, then 4, 3, 9, 4 and 16. Now plot the following point on graph. First is 0, 0, showing the x and a respectively. So ये हो जाएगा. Then a 1, 1, 1, 1. This is point A. B 2 and 4. x की वैल्यू 2 and b यहाँ पे y पे 4. Then C 3 and 9. 3 and 9. C point, and this is D point, 4 and 16. So we will draw this on graph. Next, graph of a simple interest versus number of years. Consider the following illustration. Suppose simple interest on certain sum per year equals to rupees 20. The period for which simple interest is to be graphed equals to x years. Then simple interest for x year equals to हो जाएगा 20 into x. Now draw a graph for the function s equals to 20 into x. So we have to draw the graph. The table will be x की value 1 है, so s equals to हो जाएगा 20 into 1, that is 20. If the value of x is 2, then 20 into 2, that is 40. If value of x is 3, then 20 into 3, that is 60. Note, if we take one big square as one unit on the y-axis, we will not be able to represent the desired graph on the sheet of our exercise book. Hence, take one big square equals to 10 unit on the y-axis. Now, along the x-axis, take one square equals to 1 unit. Along the y-axis, one square किसके equal होगा? 10 units के. Now we'll plot the graph for point A, 1 and 20. 1 and 20. This is point A. B, 2 and 40. 2 and 40. This is point B. For C, 3 and 60. 3 and 60. Now we'll join them. Like this, we will draw the graph. Next is reading of line graph. Example, the table given below show the recurrent salary expenditure of industry in 1000 rupees. So here year is given and salary expenditure in thousands of rupees. So year is 98, 99, 320. 99 to 2000, 350, 2000 to 2001, 450, and like this is given. Clear? And this graph is drawn. Industry recurring expenditure on salary. On x-axis years is given, and on y-axis expenditure in thousands is given. Solution: by plotting the point corresponding to the data and the joining the points by the segment, we obtain the line graph as shown in the figure. Whatever data is given to us, according to that we will draw this graph and you get the data. A line graph is suitable graph to construct when we wish to show the rising and falling trend set of a data over a period of time. The graph in the figure show that the industry recurrent expenditure on salary was lowest in 98-99, after which it increased gradually up to 2002 and 3. It had a decrease in 2003 and 4, but thereafter again it increased for the next 2 years. So we can see in 98-99 it was lowest, that it get increased, and in 2003 and 4 again it get decreased, and again it has increased. So by the graph we can see the trend of rising and falling means कितना बढ़ रहा है या कितना कम हो रहा है, we can see that by graph. Next is reading of distance versus time graph. We know distance equals to time multiplied by speed equals to x time into speed. Given speed 5 meter per second, find from the graph the distance covered when the time is 3x or 3 second, the distance covered when the time is 5x 5 second, the time in which the body covered 35 meter. So solution हो जाएगा time t equals to 3 into x, then distance क्या हो जाएगा 3 into 5 that is 15 meter. 5 second पे हो जाएगा t into 5 into x that is 5 into 5 25 meter. Distance 35 meter है, then time 7x or 7 second. 35 divided by 5 that is 7 second. Clear? Next, learning target 17.1. Critical thinking. Match the following. Quadrant. First quadrant में क्या होते हैं, दोनों पॉजिटिव होते हैं, so both are positive. Second quadrant में क्या होगा, x is negative and y is positive, so this is our second quadrant. If we talk about third quadrant x and y both are negative. If we talk about fourth quadrant, in fourth quadrant x is positive and y is negative. Clear? So you have to practice all these questions. Here we end the chapter. I hope you understand it well. Now you have to practice it.